Okay, boomer.
I see what you did
the
there.
intro.
That was nice.
Yeah, change it up a little bit. Change it up a little bit. It can still be tweaked. We gotta add some stuff to the end. Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
What up? What up?
Yo, 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 yo.
Good.
Welcome to another edition of the Boomer Council. Boy, we got some stuff to talk about today. There are topics of that you can be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hawks, thank you for joining us.
As
you're
always,
here.
love it.
Good.
Love being here with you guys.
Good to see you, buddy. Star Wars Obsession, my old friend. How are you?
What up?
You know, this guy. So I wanted to start out this Boomer Council. I'm almost wondering if this would have been more appropriate for Hangar Bay, but I feel like it's appropriate for Boomer Council just because of the content of it. So I'm not going to say who said this, but I finally got, I don't know if I would call this constructive criticism or just a statement. I did get a comment on one of my videos that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, this is not pertaining to the content that I make, but rather the community here at Hangar Bay. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Okay.
All right.
You ready for this?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So 13 hours ago.
He's got it down to the hour. It's not just like, oh, earlier
Oh
today.
boy.
No, it just says it like, anyways, shut up.
It's my show.
Okay. Okay, so it says, this is probably going to mean nothing to you, but the more I watch your new content, the more I realize it's not for me. I have great respect for you and your community, but this channel has turned into a boomer Star Wars channel. It's no place for someone who likes all of Star Wars. How you think and the people you support is predictable. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Oh, they used the line. Oh, you know what? That's real though, right there.
I know. That's very real. That's why I wanted to bring
Well,
it up
but
with you.
what do I keep saying? I keep saying, the constant hate on the sequels is not healthy. Right? I mean, I get it.
But this is what was stated. It's turning into a boomer channel. It's no place for someone who likes all of Star Wars.
Well, I mean, boom.
So obviously they're not talking to me.
Well, they can't be talking to me because I am constantly the voice of opposition.
Hawk's got the
No.
Tatooine Rhapsody lyrics tattooed on his butt cheek. So, the
Which
guy.
that lightsaber microphone tattooed across
It's on the
butt.
underside of my lip, actually.
There you go.
What's up?
I wanted
Chad?
to get it
How's
someplace
everything?
no one would see it.
Unless they were severely intimate with you, right?
Right.
Mhm.
In which case they get it.
So let me ask you this. Would that same comment have happened if the channel was very pro sequel trilogy and against, say, the prequels? What if it was reversed?
So that's my question, right? I mean, and this is the part that kind of bugs me because I'm overburdened with the fact that like I was an overly caring person before I started YouTube. Like I want to make sure everybody's okay. You know what I mean? That's just kind of always how things were. And so yeah, it bugs me a little bit, but the more I read it and the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, you're wrong. You're totally wrong because the whole point of this community was to be able to, yes, let's talk about the things that we love. Let's talk about Star Wars, but also get differing perspectives. That's kind of the point of the Boomer Council. It's supposed to be, I picked you guys because I want it to be a good meld of like, no, you're just a salty, crappy Star Wars fan. And then the other side is like, no, you're a shill and you don't like good Star Wars. It's supposed to have some friction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a healthy friction, man. We got
And I think you can't really define healthy versus unhealthy, but in my mind, a healthy Star Wars fan goes home at the end of the night after having conversations with their friends, and they were called a shill or they were called a etc., an ism, a this, a that. A healthy Star Wars fan goes home at night and thinks about why they were put in that box and tries to understand it. And then I every day try to approach this exact conversation in a more grounded, more middle of the road. I do get passionate about what I like, but I'm not gonna I don't appreciate the boomer aspect of that, because age really doesn't define your fandom in my mind. And
Yeah, that's the part
I
that
think
doesn't
even
quite make sense.
one last thing, I think even X-Wing has made statements that he can admit there are things he enjoys about everything in Star Wars. Might not like the entire sequel trilogy, but you can find things in there that you liked.
100%. Yeah.
So
Look, I mean, it's a challenge in today's environment to, number one, you're never going to appease everybody, right? And that's first and foremost. So I don't try. If you like me, great. If you don't, that's great too. Just get in there and subscribe and get this freaking thing off my shelf. But for me, it's not really about that's why YouTube is what it is. It's unfortunately not a space to say whatever you want, because they do shut people down when they say things that they don't like, or use a certain word, or the admins and the algos are very aggressive these days. But at the same time, I feel like that's what YouTube is for. It's for your opinion. It's for your thing. It's find people like-minded. We're not all going to agree on everything. There's a lot of channels out there. I like the people, I hate the content, right? So it's a place for us to just be, and if you don't like the content, then just thank you, next, right? That's it. I mean, but as far as like the toxicity on your channel,
everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, it's. Oh, you're muted, dude.
Why am I muted? Okay, go ahead.
You muted yourself.
Boomer.
This community is very diverse, and it's something that I actually like. I see this very similar as the EBN family, we're all part of the EBN family, right? But I feel like we're on with this, we kind of steer towards a little bit of an edgier side to these, where we can get a little ramped up in our opinions about things. And at the end of the day, like Hawk said, we're friends at the end of the day. We're just, call each other whatever out of just, fun and whatnot. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's all good because we get it. We respect each other's opinions. We get the fact that we're not going to fully agree with each other. I don't think a single one of us fully agree on almost every aspect of the saga.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's the point of a community like this.
But
it's
also a story that's based on interpretation, right? It's not, I mean, it's and I hate to even say the words here, but it's very biblical in that, right? It's people take it very serious. They consider their heroes as the Messiah, right? Like you can't touch certain things and you can't say certain things without spinning up the hornet's nest, right? And that, so I use that analogy because we as the community take this stuff as seriously as religious people take their Bible. So, and the stories are up for interpretation, right? So that's the big thing I think that people misunderstand, is that we can see two separate things in the same scene based on our interpretation of life. And I think that is forgotten when we watch this stuff, and when people talk about it, it's like, well, you don't have the same opinion I do. I was very triggered by this. And it's like, well, great. I am not. I'm sorry you're triggered by this or this upsets you, but I'm not, because it doesn't offend me or it doesn't bother me, right? And I think that's the miracle of the writing, is that it is up for so much interpretation. They don't explain every detail so that you have to, interpret it your way.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and can we stop using words like woke and toxic Like,
Never.
I don't
first
even
of
know
all,
what
you
they
don't
mean
even
anymore.
know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
using the word. It literally turned into the middle finger. You know how like Dane Cook said this back in the early 2000s. Like, when someone flips you off, there's not really much you can do after that. So when
Yeah.
someone calls you toxic or they call you woke, the conversation's over. So do yourself a favor, stop calling people that shit, and say what you
Well,
mean,
but
bro.
like you were saying, I was saying this the other night, when we were talking about this the other night. Most people don't understand what woke really is to begin
It
with.
lost the meaning because people try to steal the word.
Right. The word was hijacked, and things don't mean what you think they mean. So that's what I was saying last night. Like, do your research, get out there before you mutter and regurgitate these words.
Yeah.
And form your own opinion.
Have an opinion.
Don't be a follower, right? Like, if you're, I mean, be our followers, but don't be a follower in life, right? Don't go with the group. Don't say, well, they're saying this, so I'm going to get on board, right? Like, form your own opinion, be your own person. And I think that's a lesson that Star Wars teaches us, right? Like, you don't have to go with the flow. You can find your own path, right? And I think that people, can, like I said, there's a lot of lessons in Star Wars. There's a lot of good lessons for young people, and it's important that we distinct the difference between what we pull out of Star Wars or what we pull out of something and what it was, how it was interpreted from the creators, right?
So that's maybe I wasn't like super clear, and I should have been more clear when I started the community, and we had this whole like every fan deserves a voice aspect going to my community. I meant every fan, not just the fans that agree with you, not just the fans that disagree with you. Every fan deserves a voice. And if they feel a certain way, let them feel that way. I'll still talk to you. I'll be your friend. We can talk Star Wars. I'm never going to talk down on you as a person because you feel a certain way about something. And that's where we've lost.
I'm toxic.
I know you. That's where we've lost our way as Star Wars fans, is that it's not okay to have these discussions anymore. People go home and they run and they cry to somebody else and say, this guy's a bad guy, or this guy's a bad guy, or this guy's a shill, and this person's terrible. Look, we're all people. That's the bottom line. I think we've forgotten that we're all just people. And I truly believe there are very, very few of us out there that are actually evil.
Well, but there's also a lot of people that take things too sensitively, right? There's a whole lot of people out there like, well, you said this and I don't agree with that, and I'm going to cancel you from my life. Cool, cancel me, please. Like, cancel me. It doesn't affect me, right? Like, I understand everybody's got their things, but I'm just not triggered and offended by anything. So if something offends you, I truly empathize with your pain, but I'm not going to apologize for being me in my space. This is the only space that I occupy. That's me. That's my voice. And if you don't like what I have to say, there's a button at the bottom and you don't have to listen to it anymore. I want you to be here because I want you to talk Star Wars with us. And I like difference of opinions because that's what the spirit of debate is. And 9 out of 10 times when we're here, especially in this space, it is the spirit of debate. At the end of these things, when we're having these heated conversations, I wish you guys could come to the backstage sometimes, because we literally, as soon as the little thing goes gray, we're laughing and giggling like 5-year-olds.
Oh my god, dude!
Like, oh, that was so much fun, right? And so I think people get lost in the like, oh, they think we don't like each other, or they think it's toxic, or they think it's hate, and it's like, no, actually, the spirit of debate shows love. If you can listen to a dissenting opinion and not cancel the person right there, if you can listen to it and find neutral ground, that is love. That is the spirit of debate. It's not hate. People just don't like to hear the other side of things, and they're never wrong in their world. And that's a big part of society today that's frustrating, because no one's ever wrong. Well, guess what? I'm wrong a lot. I say a lot of stupid things. So, if you can't open up and realize that you say stupid things and you do stupid things too, then, I think we'd be a lot better off if everybody quit thinking they're so perfect. There's no one in here that's a perfect human being.
Oh,
There's
dude,
no
I've
one
had
in
to
here.
walk back so many statements.
I know you're going to eat so much humble pie.
Beyond
soon.
that,
I'm looking forward to it.
Look, there's other stuff.
You're not walking back. You're repositioning.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. I want to hit the super chat really quick. Thank you,
Yeah,
Nick
go for it.
Southwood. I feel like people get too much in their feelings. If Disney wrote a good story, we would all love it. You may not like it as much, but still like it.
That's not factually true either, because people find holes in the original trilogy. Thank you.
Stop killing younglings, for the love of God.
Just-
Every time I'm going to smack that baby.
We also have, really quick, a new member of the community.
Hey.
Thank you
Welcome,
for
sir.
joining for the welcome. You were already here, but welcome.
He's here in a brand new way.
Yeah,
He awoke from the Matrix.
I appreciate you, brother. Can you boomers quit drinking energy drinks and start drinking black coffee and whiskey? Who says I'm not?
I mean, I'm not against that. I have whiskey right over here. I can go get some.
Well, anyways, the whole point of this beginning segment is because I read that and I just went like, I've spent so long trying to cultivate a community of people that can actually communicate with each other. And it's like, well, who you support and what you do is not for me. And I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I have Star Wars Santa on my channel, who's like the biggest Disney shill in the world, and then RK Outpost, who is like as far from the other side of the beach that you could have too. So I don't know. But we do have other things to talk about tonight. Let's get through a little bit of this chat first.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I love Star Wars.
there's a lot
I
of
love
talk.
everything that has come out. No, but that's okay. We're all entitled to our own opinion, but it's not okay to push our opinion onto others.
It's like religion, bro.
Mm.
Like, no one likes to hear you talk about how awesome your religion is. You know, it's to the point where people are just kind of bragging about their intelligence when it comes to Star Wars. It's like, I know people who are fans of Star Wars for the last year, and they know way more than some people I know who've been fans since birth. So to say, you know, you're not a fan, you really don't know how much people are looking into this stuff and how much they've read.
I like that comment. If you go back one. If we all like the same things in the world would be boring.
100%. Wouldn't be any boomer council. Can you imagine if I brought up the topic and people are like, yeah,
that's good.
Oh, all right,
okay,
cool.
next topic.
Freed up my Wednesdays.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Phil, I really like this. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't, but I really like the new Tron. I really like the second Tron.
I
Legacy.
like Tron. I like that a lot, actually.
I actually have a script idea for a sequel in my head that I think would be badass and that would finish the trilogy, that would make it just gangster. But that's a subject for another day. But yeah, man, that movie's fantastic. The way the deep fake they did before deep fake was deep fake. I mean, dude, come on,
That blew me away, man.
blew
That
me
was
away, man.
wonderful.
A generation ahead of everybody else. They, I mean, just killed it. So, I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I love the story. And in the third one, I would
Was there
love
a lot of
to
hate
see-
for that?
Oh, a lot of hate.
Yeah, unfortunately, I thought it was a great film.
I thought it was fantastic.
You know what I did? I know
What's
it's off
Tron?
topic, but did you just say what's Tron?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, honey,
I don't even know.
stop it.
I'm just saying, like, people are like, these movies bombed. And I'm just like, okay, cool. That movie bombed. There's people that literally don't even know what Tron is.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you have an opportunity, honestly, the first one is a tough watch in today's technology, right? It's very
It's still such a good movie, though.
it's very
But there's a
8-bit.
lot of our movies we grew up with that are a hard watch. With now,
Right, so
today's
it's very
technology.
8-bit, right, for the time, because it was what, 84, 83 or something like that.
Yeah.
But the original Tron still holds weight today, and the new one was absolutely fantastic with the technology and what they did.
I
yeah,
really liked it. I thought it was cool
Yeah.
as heck. And
It
they
was-
put the ride in at Disney Shanghai. I don't know if you guys have seen that ride at Disney Shanghai. You get on a
no.
light bike
Oh,
and you
it's-
rip
Oh,
through
dude.
Tron's Legacy on a light bike. Oh,
Oh.
sign
That's
me
cool.
up.
So I
You know
always
what-
wanted the third one to be where Flynn comes out, right, and brings
As what?
his comes out of the grid, because he was
Sorry.
comes out
Dude,
of the
Don't
grid,
myself.
not out. Let's come on, let's keep it sci-fi. But yeah, I always thought it would be cool for Flynn to come out at the end of the third movie and realize that all of his dreams at the beginning really came true with digital medicine. That's like such a cool thing for me.
Yeah,
Like the
man, that
idea
would
of
be sick.
amputees, yeah, right, going into the grid, that getting their limbs fixed by debugging their code and then coming out healthy with their new. I
There
mean,
you go.
just the idea of that is just like,
That's
That'd be
savage.
insane, man.
you know,
See, when that sequel came out, my wife had never seen Tron, and my best friend never saw it. So I wanted to go to the theaters. Like, we'll go, but we never saw the first one. So like, we got time. We sat down and watched the first movie, then left the house and went and saw 2. And I'm so glad that they did that because they actually got to see why I felt so nostalgic about it.
yeah, it's it's a great series, but I mean, think about that. Like Disney was doing deepfake before deepfake was deepfake, right?
Mhm.
Before they even had a name for it. They didn't even have a name for it yet.
Yeah, it
You know?
was copy paste human face.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to trademark that.
I'm gonna DM that for sure.
Dude, we're gonna make a shirt.
Copy
Oh my
paste
God.
human face.
Copy paste human face. Oh my God. Oh, that was
Oh,
epic.
I love it.
Good grief. Yeah, there's still a lot going on right now. I mean, there's
Mhm.
you know what, the Dave Filoni thing dropped today about his
Oh yeah, no, I
conversation
have
with
news.
Friday.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I did, yeah, I'm sorry. We I got sidetracked there.
No worries, man.
Let's take a look at the first one. So we do have some stuff to talk about. So I gotta say, Tim looks absolutely awesome. He's looking so much better. I saw a meme earlier today about Tamara Morrison when he was in the Mando. He looked like, and you guys are gonna have to help me. What was the name of the guy from the Addams Family that was
Lurch?
pale and fat?
Fester.
Oh,
Uncle Fester.
Fester? Uncle Fester?
Yeah, he looked like Fester
Yeah,
in Mando. Didn't he kind of look like Fester in Mando?
Well,
He was
I
like
mean-
kind of fat, and he was like in a black robe, and just yeah, I, don't
mean,
know. Just
I never
felt
saw Uncle Fester beat that
Yeah, I
ass
didn't-
like that, though. I mean,
yeah.
just
I
saying.
didn't get
It's true.
Uncle Fester vibes,
true.
but I could-
Also, minor issue, just minor issue with the costuming. You can definitely tell this is PVC because the light is shining through his shoulder pad. I was like, damn.
Well, they might fix that in post, though. These might
Oh,
be
they're definitely gonna fix it.
they
in
might be
post.
previs, you know, kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
So I thought this was interesting. So this is actually you know, the three amigos talking about this on Empire, because we weren't supposed to get this magazine, I think, until January of 2022, but obviously all of the articles are already leaked. And they said, picking up where the teaser left off, the series from the Mandalorian creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and director Robert Rodriguez will depict the bounty hunter's foray into crime boss territory. Quotations, there is a power vacuum, explains Favreau. Because Jabba is gone, Jabba is clearly a very strong and imposing leader who people were very scared of and who seemed to rule with an iron fist. You pull somebody like that out of an ecosystem of Tatooine and Hutt space in general, and you have the opportunity that's ripe in the gangsta genre.
Well,
Thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's what, 5 years after Luke killed Jabba, so there's already a vacuum. So basically, his lieutenants have been running things without him for all this time, without a lead. Oh, Bib took the throne.
It's all out war in Hutt space right now.
Yeah,
Even 5 years after, it's still all out war. People are gunning for control. And I think we saw that in the trailer when they said, why don't we just like kill you and take what's ours? That kind of attitude, you know, everybody's cutthroat.
well, I mean, I think the death of Bib, the news of that traveled fast, and I think that once the lieutenants see that there's an open seat at the table, that's it, man. Like that's I mean, that's Tony. This is basically Tony Soprano Star Wars edition.
yes, it is.
You know, this is the consolidation of the Hutt space by Boba, basically. And I you know, I think it would be cool to see some other Hutts. I think it would be cool to see you know, maybe some of the remnants of Crimson Dawn still running around.
Man.
Some live action Pikes would be cool.
Dude, I'm dying to see Pikes in live action.
So I really think I think they're gonna, like I said, this what, 8 weeks? What is it? 8-week long series? Strap in. This is only the beginning. I mean, basically they're coming out both barrels and they're just going to keep on letting those dominoes fall all year. If you're not ready, strap in, boys and girls. Put your helmets on. Get ready for hyperspace because this shit is going to be gnarly.
Yeah, man.
Yo, where do we define wild space? Like, what is,
So
there's
wild
like
space is
unknown.
outside of known space. So nothing.
That's where like the
that's
Chiss.
So we
farms
haven't
are.
Yeah.
seen anything.
No, it's
Just
past
in
the
live
unknown
action.
regions.
No, but we do have a lot of indications that the Ahsoka series is going to be based in wild space.
Well, because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
I always reference Aftermath because I've actually read the trilogy and really enjoyed that book. But there's a character in that book. I'm gonna butcher her name, but it's like Eliodi Marakavanya. Some bullshit. Her title is the queen, the pirate queen of wild space. I
Mm.
want characters like this to show up, like new characters to challenge Boba that we don't know about because there's territories that we've never seen in live action.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they start kind of introducing little bits of, and you know what's funny? I always know it as the unknown regions.
Mm-hmm.
It's called wild space, but I know it as the unknown regions.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start kind of hinting towards that because A, I think we're gonna get it in Ahsoka. B, I think we're definitely gonna get it in Mando season 3. If you involve Thrawn or Ezra at all, we're getting that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I think for sure they're going to be in that because that's what Ahsoka was looking for, her and Sabine, and the fact that now we haven't announced it's official, Sabine is cast. So that story is going to continue.
I don't think there was ever a doubt.
They're
I
two
think they
different
just-
parts. Okay, somebody who knows more about Star Wars than I do, apparently, because I thought wild space and the unknown regions were the same.
I thought that wild space was beyond the unknown regions.
Okay, so it's unknown regions, then wild space?
I
That's
think
what
you're
I thought.
opposite. I think you're
I think-
opposite. I think
Wild
wild,
space and the unknown
wild space is like international waters. Like we know of it, but there's no laws out there. Unknown is like
Oh.
unknown's like you need the Wayfinder bullshit to go through that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think
that's
thought-
what that's my.
See,
thought
I
it was
thought
the-
once we got past like the outer rim, it was basically just like
no,
that's
because
wild.
the
I believe.
unknown. I thought the unknown regions was
That's
where
unexplored.
Exegol is, right?
Yes.
And then beyond that is wild space. They don't know what it
Okay.
is. That's how I interpret
See,
it.
that's what I don't know.
I feel like
Because-
that makes more sense, right?
Because otherwise, you would have to go. You would all of that navigation that was done by the Wayfinders would be wild space, and that's not a tangible space to exist. So I thought it was outer rim, wall of crap you can't get through unless you have a Wayfinder. Exegol outer is the outer regions, and then wild space is like the dark part of the ocean.
Yeah,
Like
where are
this
my
is-
mega sweaties?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
out there.
Oh, we're super.
See, and I always
Yeah.
thought
The bomb.
so. I was
Yeah,
thinking
that's what I.
the
Yeah.
Chiss are basically the new Vong. The Chiss are basically the new Yuzhong Vong. Like it's just a replacement for it.
I hope they don't do stuff like that.
I hope that they're two separate things. I would like to see the Chiss be
Yeah.
something in the unknown regions, and then the Vong be out, and no one's heard of them. Like they're it's too far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
I agree with
kill
Cora
for a
on that.
clip of Anakin just saying, "I think."
Yeah.
Man, I wish I had that right now.
That's. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's set up. Is that known space,
Yeah. We're all on the same page.
unknown regions because it's past the wall where you need the Wayfinder, and then wild space is like way.
Way out there.
You know what's kind of cool because it parallels like our own setup. Like you know how we just discovered that invisible like wall of whatever the particles were that separate our galaxy from like beyond that, and I can't remember the scientific what it was, but there's like a wall of particles that we've now explored beyond.
Are you talking about
But I
the
feel
Higgs boson particle?
No, the
No,
Higgs boson-
no.
That was
But
a
it was
while
right around
ago.
the same time. Right around the same time we discovered that they were talking about this invisible
Yeah,
wall
see,
that
that's what I thought.
affects gravity and things like that.
I figured the Grisk was basically the new Vong. Vong would be from Wild Space.
But aren't they both fighting in the unknown regions in the EU?
Well, the unknown.
All of that
okay,
stuff
okay.
is an
This is starting
unknown.
to take shape now. It would make sense that the Chiss were in the unknown regions, and
Right.
then the Yuuzhan Vong or the Chiss would come from wild space.
Okay, so they're already here, like
It's a
here with
hydrogen ball.
us.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that'd be dope if there was like a faction that we didn't know about way out at the edge, like right at the edge of unknown. And that whole territory is theirs and has been theirs, you know, call them the whatever you want to call them. But then have that barrier start to break down between the Chris or whoever out there. That'd be cool,
Yes.
man.
Chris?
And then that would affect all of our whatever. That would affect all of us in this area of the galaxy.
See, this is why I love my community. They're like, actually, and they send me stuff during my live stream. They're like, why don't you share this?
Yeah, Wikipedia, solid.
Ooh, all right, we got a whole map here.
Yeah, here we go.
Good luck
Oh.
reading it.
Oh boy, wait. Oh, we can do the Zoom thingy.
Good
How do you
luck.
do,
Oh,
what was the
boy.
Zoom thing? You like hit control and this is the Boomer Council after all.
Ah.
I think it's a little okay.
Oh boy.
OKK.
Oh boy.
Well, it's a little
Why
hard
don't you
to
just
read,
read
but
it to us?
Here's wild space.
Yeah.
This is wild space. This is the unknown regions. So essentially, it's the same thing. These outer belts are the same thing. I'm sharing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at it, man.
So it could just be a part of space that no one's gotten into.
Yeah, we
It's
didn't
what
look
it
there
appears to be for show.
It's strange that it's only on one side. But
Yeah, but everybody went to the
No,
right.
The wild space is on the other side.
That's where the wills live. The wills.
Yeah,
are
that's
on
the
the
way.
other side.
Somebody went. Only one person went that way. They're like, no, back the other way. Go.
They went that way and
Space
came
Wells.
all the way back around, and now the galaxy's not flat.
Ah, the galaxy's flat theories. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh,
On
good.
the other side.
Very excited. It's a conspiracy. Order 66 was an inside job.
Do it.
So it's core, inner
It's
rim,
crossed.
outer rim, unknown regions, and wild space. And okay, yeah,
I love
that
it when you
makes
talk dirty to me.
sense. The
You gotta figure
Chris's
it out, guys.
are in the unknown regions. The Chiss, it's the Chiss.
Come on, that was an auto type.
Despite not being fully explored, whereas the unknown regions remain almost entirely uncharted and unexplored. Bot. That's from Wikipedia.
Hence
Yeah.
the ability to build an entire Sith armada in the unknown regions.
You gotta tell me where you got those bodies, though, bro.
Oh man,
Flat Tuine.
this isn't Star Wars related, but it's breaking news as far as I'm concerned because it just popped up on my phone.
Hit
But
me.
You just say
apparently
15% or more on car
Harold Ramis'
insurance by
daughter
switching to Geico?
watched Ghostbusters Afterlife and talked about it.
Who did?
Who?
Nice.
Harold Ramis' daughter watched Ghostbusters Afterlife and did an interview about it. It looks like.
No spoilers.
So I'm going to be crying later, everyone.
I'll be honest with you, he's gonna be really mad at me. But I was talking to Grand Moff Rissman. He went and saw the movie. He said at the end of the movie, he was
My son looked at me and said, "Dad, are you all right?" And this is while tears are in my face. I said, "Son,
Anyone who
the
hasn't
movie
seen
was
it
done
yet,
right."
2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I
So,
If
I
you
have
seen it.
not. I have not seen it. I hope to see it soon.
See you soon.
I'm excited to see it. I am. I had hope for it. I'm also a massive Paul Rudd simp. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Paul Rudd.
He drinks vampire's blood. That guy doesn't age ever.
It's
You ever see him in the Super Nintendo commercial?
Yes, dude. Like seriously. God,
Yeah,
I want what he's taken.
How does he look the same as he did in Clueless?
He's a vampire,
Ow.
bro. He's a vampire. That's it. That's the only thing I can think of. He's a vampire, and eventually he's going to stage his own death so that he can be in the next generation of television. I'm telling you, he's a vampire.
You know what I will say about that film? I know we've just veered. I veered us off of Star Wars, but what I will say about that film in regards to Paul Rudd, because I know a lot of people were worried about it being the Paul Rudd show. He does not steal this movie at all.
Well, the nostalgia in this movie is more of, I feel like, just listening to the hype and listening to what everybody has to say, I feel like this is more nostalgic based than a reboot or a remake.
Mhm.
This is giving us what we wanted this to be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
I had a hard time watching
Loved it.
the other one, the 16 version. I had a real hard time with the 16
It's
Ghostbusters.
a tough one to swallow.
It was funny. I'm just not a big Melissa McCarthy fan from Jump Street. So
It's a different kind of comedy. That's the thing.
I'm
Can I tell you guys something really crazy that everybody's gonna hate?
Yeah.
When
Oh, God.
all these Sony got hacked back in the day, and I think this is where a lot of like the Spider-Man plots and things came out. But there were, and this is real, you can look it up. There were emails from Channing Tatum to Sony. Basically, what he was pitching was the Ghostbusters multiverse that they had in the video game, and him and Chris Pine were going to start a new team of the Ghostbusters. And they were going to actually canonize all of the Ghostbusters teams. They wanted to. Channing Tatum was trying to champion a actual multiverse and to build this IP out. So yeah, that was a thing that happened.
Please don't do that. Like, it's so good how it is. Like, don't pillage that one. Please don't.
For real.
Because we don't have like a Skywalker saga when it comes to Ghostbusters. Like we had the OG Ghostbusters, and then now, I mean, there was 2016 that happened, but you know, now there's the continuation of Ghostbusters, the true continuation that I'm calling it now. I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard nothing but good things. I think
so good.
From what I've heard, this is how this kind of stuff should be handled, you know, with respect. So moving back to Star Wars, I'm super excited about that movie. I am going to go watch it. I think probably Friday. I think the movie theaters should be open. I'd like to go see it. But we did get this another leaked article from Empire. Star Wars. Dave Filoni talks about the thrilling Ahsoka writing process. So
yeah, I read this one earlier.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool just to kind of look at this. I'm trying to think of like what I should read here, but basically, Dave says, I thought of this adventure for Ahsoka a long time ago, and it's interesting to see how it's evolved. Years ago, I never would have imagined that it was sprung from a branch of a tree that had anything to do with a guy like Din Djarin or a child that looks like Yoda. It's a great lesson for me on how, when you have other creatives like Jon Favreau, they can help lend such a dimension and depth to what you're doing.
Lend.
Lend. It wouldn't be good unless Jay. I'm just telling you, if Dave wasn't there, it wouldn't be that good.
I agree. If Dave wasn't there, it wouldn't be good at all.
John, it's the combined effort that made that work. They
Favreau. John Favreau.
No, it's you keep calling him Dave Favreau and John Filoni is what you.
No,
especially
they might as well be the
when I
same
had too much spotchka. Let it go.
I will not.
Where's my clip of Elsa? Let it go.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Dave. That's what I keep saying. Jon Favreau is a great producer. He's a great writer. He's done some amazing things. But when it comes to Star Wars, you can't Feige this shit by yourself. And even Feige didn't do it by himself. Feige had Jon Favreau over there for years assisting in the making. But ultimately, the person who gets to wear the crown is the person in the story group that's working for the company. And so, yeah, I mean, the writing, he does have a big part, but just like I said, who's writing the scripts? Who's writing the stories? Favreau's not writing very many stories in Star Wars. He's writing one.
I think Filoni sure is 100% writing the Ahsoka stuff, but I don't think that Filoni is the one who is actually like the whole story is not all Filoni, in my opinion.
Oh no, there's
Ahsoka
other
stuff,
writers.
he's probably not allowed. No one else is allowed to touch Ahsoka at this point.
Right, but all roads lead to him still. So like he was a big part of Kenobi. I guarantee he was a big part of the Kenobi rewrite.
X-Wing, are you ready for the clip?
Oh God.
Actually, all roads lead to KK.
Wow.
He wasn't.
Is that so? Then how
I love those
What was
movies.
that?
I just love those movies so much.
You do. You keep putting up all their videos.
Every GIF is like from the sequels.
Every
He's a
gift is
fan.
from sequels.
He's
I
a
don't see
fan.
anything else. He's
Yeah.
a secret fan, dude. He's a secret. Don't let him.
No,
He's just
I'm
doing
a
it for
secret
clicks.
shill. Everybody knows I'm a secret shill. I just I gotta hit the super chat real quick. For the Empire, eliminate the younglings.
Thank you.
Darth Arena, she really likes that. It's getting to be concerning how bad she loves seeing younglings go.
Well, see, okay, so I'll put something in the atmosphere. What do you guys hope? I hope, but do you guys think we'll get an Anakin flashback of the temple scene?
Of the temple scene?
Yo, actually,
How much hate
Because-
theory got for this?
Because Hayden's back, and we can kind of get some of those scenes. Can we get, or do we get Vader walking around the temple on Coruscant in the suit?
I got something really hyped that I hope happens.
So which would you prefer?
Both of those. I like both of those. Can we have both? We can't have both. That's too
Oh,
much.
dude, why couldn't we have both? How cool would it be to see a scene? I'm sorry, Hawks, go, please, because you're hype.
No, I'll let you do yours. I'll do mine.
How dope would it be to see the march in live action, right? See some troopers behind him from the 501st, and you see the scene maybe from overhead, so we don't see Hayden's face. You just see the trail, but then flash at that moment to Vader walking in there by himself in a silent, completely silent room, right? So literally like replace Anakin's footsteps with Vader's boots, and then you pan up and see Anakin. The temple is in disarray, and pan down, and it's just Vader by himself in the same exact spot. Like that would be the best way to do it.
Obligatory super chat just to say FM younglings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your generous contribution. Darth Bayou and Darth Arlena, did you notice that everybody who super chats has Darth in front of their name and they want to see younglings die?
Gotta represent. You gotta represent, bro.
Mm.
So yeah,
This is a good point.
Well, what if Vader what if this is a
It's
moment
tough.
where Vader finds the code or the message that Obi-Wan put out to the Jedi, right? Because that beacon is always active until they find it, right? That would be a cool way to intro that.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
this
been
is-
multiple people that have found that message. We've seen it in Rebels. We've seen it in Jedi Fallen Order. I just saw it recently in the Ultimate Edition of Revenge of the Sith.
Oh
Yeah, everyone's making really
Now
good
you have
points.
to buy a new Blu-ray DVD with the 15-second clip added to it.
Yeah, the chat's making really good points and it's talking me out of the scene that I want. But I really think it'd be dope if we got essentially the Vader hallway Rogue One scene, but I want an Anakin Jedi Temple hallway scene where it's like 6 or 7 Jedi that he just tears through.
Dude,
And
there was
then
footage.
You get to the doorway where he's like,
Mhm.
Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What do we do? And then it just ching, and then it just cuts away again.
Yeah.
well, they have
But
that
we just saw him
footage, right?
slaughter a whole bunch of others.
Yeah.
They
The
have that
Yeah,
security footage was the an adaptation of the scenes they deleted.
So
They filmed him-
rotoscope that in there,
Yeah,
and then add like 3 or 4 more Jedi to that shit.
Jedi Master Stones with a $20. Oh my gosh. Save the
Welcome to the
youngling,
dark
save the
side.
Wookiees for the Republic and the Rebellion.
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Oh, what about it? For that
Save
one,
younglings,
man, what do you even do for that one? All right,
I don't
let's
know.
save the younglings, save
Thank
the
you.
Wookiees. Let's
Thank
do
you.
this for the Rebellion. Let's do this for the Republic. Everything's fine. Don't worry
Awesome.
about it.
Good.
Yeah,
We're
we
fine.
made it.
Nothing to see here.
Beautiful.
Awful. Awful.
Thank you so much, Jedi Master Stones. I appreciate you. Thank you. That was
Wow.
funny.
I'm
Well,
triggered.
we know how Justin feels about children. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
I'd let you on here to defend yourself, but nah.
My favorite story about that scene is what Hayden Christensen did when they filmed that.
That's yeah, please.
Did you hear when
yeah.
they met up again like years later? They were at whatever kind of con or whatever, and the kid is grown up, but the kid tells the story of that when he didn't quite know what he was going to be doing at that moment, and Hayden Christensen right before they were shooting it to do his thing, he just kind of went boo and like scared the kid. The kid's
Oh, I
like, and that
remember hearing
reaction
that.
where he jumps back, that's what it caught, and it's in the film.
Yep.
I think as a grown man, if he did that while he was holding the Youngling Slayer 9000, I'd still like. Oh,
Good old young Slayer.
okay, here we go. Or Kenobi
like that.
having flashbacks of watching the footage, and we see more of the footage. Thoughts? I don't want to see hollows.
Yeah.
Like I want
Mm.
Anakin. I want to see Anakin working his way through the temple.
hmm
And yes, to clarify, I don't want to see Anakin cutting kids in half. That's not what I want. I want to see him working his way through the temple, fighting against other Jedi. When it comes to the council
which were
chambers,
some
wasn't it
children.
the council chambers where the kids were? I don't
Yeah,
want to
they
see
were
that
in the
scene.
council chamber.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that scene. I have no interest in seeing that scene. But him fighting against other Jedi, yes.
Other council members.
Well, and see what would be great, and to finally put the argument to rest once and for all. Shock T's death would be epic.
Mm-hmm.
Show
She's
me
died,
him
what,
slaying Shock
4
T.
times.
There's 4 different versions. show me that moment of him killing Shock T. That would be.
What if he just comes across like a crippled Mace Windu on the ground and just goes, "Bzz," and just like
that
turns
would-
it on and just goes,
Yes.
"Bzz," and then walks away?
Mace dead. Mace hashtag dead Mace.
Just
looks up like-
destroys all of my hopes for all future Mace Windu content in 1/2 second clip. Just
That would
Yeah, just a little.
just a little.
Oh, rough. And we have to remember this too. This is Disney. So it's not going to be a George Lucas, and even George Lucas played it pretty tame. I mean, the gnarliest thing he did, I would think, would be the Mustafar scene when he was burning up. Like, I don't think we're going to get that with Disney.
But
Well-
keep in mind too is that Lucasfilm is still technically its own thing, right? They're gonna have a bit more leeway. This is not like it's Disney Pixar presents Star Wars. This is still Lucasfilm, and we saw some brutal stuff even in The Mandalorian. That first
Oh.
episode, dude gets cut in half by
With
a door.
Oh, that was
Cocky.
Yeah, that was sick.
so
Right?
sick.
Like dude
That was
hanging
pretty
dude
sick.
upside down by his feet and letting the animals eat him
Mhm.
alive. Like, bro, there's
Yeah,
some dark people that
Yeah,
say
you're
that
not
Disney
wrong.
can't get dark.
They
There's
get
some dark
gnarly.
shit
You're not
in there,
wrong.
man.
You're not wrong there. Yeah.
You
you're
know?
not wrong there.
So yeah, I mean, I think it would be awesome to see, and I think that they are going darker. I think that they are getting, because you can't make a show like the Clone Wars and Rebels with such violence in the cartoons and say, well, we can't make the live action stuff that violent. It'll trigger the kids. Like, let's be real here.
Cartoon shots
Think about-
just different, bro.
Yeah.
All the headshots in the Bad Batch just hit different.
Watching
Those
Kanan's
were
master get murdered.
PG-13 deaths, bro. What
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Please don't give me this. I don't want that.
Like
Then
I
he
said,
just passes out, and that's why that's why
I'm
the
so
memory's
sleepy.
blacked
I'm
out.
still holding out for R2 to be the Grogu rescue chamber. That's my thing.
I
I'm
think it
still
would-
holding out.
Yeah. I think it would be kind of cool if Grogu did kind of exert some kind of force energy that incapacitates him, and that's why Ahsoka said she couldn't see his memories. That would be kind of cool, but
I really think that he was forced, like he was wiped intentionally, like they did Revan.
Mhm.
I think that he was intentionally reset in the Force
by the Jedi.
Before
Yeah.
anybody. So whoever Art found him after R2 put him in the escape pod,
Mm.
whatever Jedi found him, I feel like
I see what you did there.
somebody
Bro.
definitely put him on that planet with security. So they had high credentials, they had a lot of money, right? So somebody with some power really put some forethought into where are we going to do with this little dude if something happens, right? He's the future of the Force, right? In theory, at that time. So he could be the next Grand Master. We have to protect him. And I genuinely feel like that was one of R2's protocols. Like if you see
Mhm.
the Jedi Temple going down, this is what you do, right? And I feel like he was roaming the temple when Anakin was thrashing shit.
But
Yeah.
Obsession, you know what a mind wipe is a setup for, right?
I do.
You
And
think they'd have the balls to do that?
I think
What
it
are
could
you
be good.
talking about?
Okay, so hold up. I'll hold up. So this is if, and this doesn't even apply to how I'm going to end it, but I really think that Anakin and Grogu could be some kind of a dyad. Said the word. Oh my god! I said the
God.
word.
Are we really
Regardless.
doing this again?
Regardless. I think it would be cool. Where's that commenter from earlier? You see my life?
Is
You see my life?
gun? Is that a fucking fart gun?
I'm going to use
This
it.
is these are
I'm
the
gonna
kinds
use
of
it.
boomers I deal with here on a weekly basis.
Oh, that's epic. I'm with you, Hawks. I mean, why
But
not?
yeah, so if Anakin's the chosen one and he was evil his entire life and flips back to the light side, if Grogu is any kind of equal to him and he lives his whole life out in the light side, flip him dark. Disney will never do it.
Well,
Flip the bro
yeah.
dark. That'd be sick.
Well, and they are born. I mean, they are the same age. They are born at the same time,
To the day,
right?
I'll be right back.
Not to
to
the
the
day.
minute, to the
No,
minute.
not to the day and minute. No, not like Luke and Leia, not like Ezra. Like I've
Oh.
always felt like the reason Ezra is so powerful, and the reason, I mean, Luke and Leia have that blood, but the reason that Ezra is so
Don't
powerful
give me that power, bro. Don't give me that power.
is that
Yo,
is that there was a vacuum. Like once all the Jedi got slayed at one time on
Mhm.
Empire Day, right? The Purge.
mm,
There was so much Force energy lingering, right? And that's why Ezra has so many unique abilities, right? Because the Force needed a vessel to put all of this energy because so much got extinguished at once. And so
It had
Luke
to
and
try to
Leia,
rebalance. It was
Right.
Yeah, it was a massacre, man. You're right.
Right.
The Force was like being destroyed.
at a super out of balance. And so
Yep.
number one, Luke and Leia already had the lineage, so they already had a huge leg up. But Ezra's parents were not Force sensitive from what we've seen. So he was basically the Force put so much energy into him because it needed a new vessel, right?
Mhm.
And that's why he's got, I mean, look at the powers that he's got. He's really, really powerful. It takes him a
Yeah.
while to find himself, but once he opens up and lets loose, I mean, the things he's able to do and see are pretty epic.
That's actually it's amazing. I like what you put there. Like when he finally allows himself to open up to these things. Because think about how nervous and like kind of antsy he gets. But as soon as Kanan's just kind of like take a second, breathe, feel the force.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden he's able to, like, he had that ability where he could calm animals. He kind of had that connection with
Well, he had
like
an
the
animal. I mean,
Wildcats
he had the
and
connection with animals. I mean,
yeah.
even just think about how young of a Padawan he was when they meet Maul on Malachor,
Mhm.
and he's lifting these giant boulders, right? These giant slabs of concrete or whatever.
Ted.
He is one of the few Force users to hold a holocron in his hand and open it.
Yes.
He has seen some shit, bro.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like after that moment, and he was using the Sith holocron for a while, and I feel like
Mhm.
that gave him some confidence. But as soon as he opened up and stopped trying to cheat the system and really get into like letting the Force act through him, he just took it to another level, right? And that's why he can
Yeah.
see Thrawn coming, right? That's why, like at the end of Rebels, think about what he's capable of, right? He tells Wedge and he tells Wolf and Gregor, if Thrawn shows up, or not, Visago, not Gregor, and he tells them, look, I think I have a really bad feeling that Thrawn's going to show up before we're done. And if it does, I see it happening. If it does, here's what you do, right? Like his foreshadowing ability, his visions right then at the end was so powerful. Like he had so many awesome abilities because the Force was in disarray and out of balance. And the Force was trying to bring Force sensitive children into the world to balance the Force. And he got so much of it because the Force was a vacuum at that point.
Yeah. He was seeing the future very almost close, if not the same as Palpatine was, man. He was on that level with it.
Yeah. I mean, without a cauldron and without Sith spells, just the way that Anakin was, just being able to see what was coming, right? Really puts things into perspective as to what Ezra we're going to see in Ahsoka. Is she going to have to bring him back from the light? See, and that's what I love about Ahsoka. Is she not only can purify crystals, but I think she can purify people also. And if she has to bring Ezra back from the death, because you got to remember the daughter lives in her. That pure light side Force energy lives in her at this point. So like I think she's got that gift, just like the daughter did, of healing the darkness in the Force darkness in that user.
Yeah, it'd be dope if she was the daughter and Ezra ended up, for whatever reason, being at one point incarnated by the sun.
He's the vessel for the sun.
Just somehow through her power, the darkness rises in him. Like, who knows, man? They could be linked already because they're the only people who have stepped into the world between worlds. Like, we don't really know what that does to a person just crossing in.
Right.
You don't belong there naturally. So
well, and that's just it, is that I don't think that she can get back without him. I truly think he's the key. I think the Force blessed him with the ability to open the world between worlds. I don't think every Jedi has that ability. You're muted, my brother. You're muted. I don't think every Jedi has that ability.
Every single time. Is it the will of the wills?
Maybe.
Is he the chosen one, the new chosen one, the reincarnation of Anakin?
Or just
he struggles with the dark side just the same way that he does. I'm not saying it's Anakin reincarnate. I'm just saying the next.
But no, I think it could be in some
the next
form.
Great equalizer.
Yeah, like the Force will find its vessels. He could just be the next vessel that they need in order to maintain this constant balance.
Well,
I really think like the power of Grogu and things like that, like they have reverberations. Like we are going to see another dark side equal to the power of Grogu. Like we will.
And I think that could be Ezra. I really do. I think that Thrawn is so good at manipulating people, and I think Ezra, without, because it's kind of like that moment in the Ninth Jedi, right, where that one Sith was influenced by the Master Sith around him, and that's why he couldn't escape the darkness, right? That could also be true with Ezra. Without Sabine and Hera and Zeb and all of these people keeping him to the light, we already saw his affinity for the dark. So without the love of his friends constantly beckoning him back to the light, is he susceptible? And does does Thrawn see that chink in his armor and exploit that?
I want to know how much knowledge Thrawn has of the Force. You know, he's been around these Force-sensitive people his
He
whole
knows
life.
enough. I'll tell you that much.
He was around
Right.
Anakin.
Who's-
And
He
if he's smart like Maul, bro, he can manipulate Ezra just as easily.
Well, that's what I
Just
think.
as
I
easily.
I think that Ezra was already manipulated by Maul, and then
Yeah.
he makes the great sacrifice that is his trials, but then he has no love around him, and that's important to keeping him in the light. And I feel like it would be really cool for Ahsoka to meet up with a changed Ezra Bridger, and then maybe best him in
Mhm.
saber combat, do some meditation, and then see the aura of the daughter like come out of Ahsoka as she's trying to heal Ezra, so that it's a visual representation of that. Like, bro, that would blow my
Yeah.
mind.
And to Star Wars Ladage's point, as far as where are these characters at the time of the sequels, the only one I can honestly speak to is Ahsoka.
Mhm.
We get verification that she's dead. She's a Force ghost. She's a spirit. She speaks to Rey in that end scene. So we know for a fact she's going to die at some point before that movie.
It's a different timeline. She's not actually dead.
Well, and I mean, what if the sequel,
She could.
the Ahsoka show is one and done? Like, what if the Ahsoka show is just one and done? What if this
It
show
could be.
is the swan song of Ahsoka Tano?
See, that's what we're getting Ahsoka before or after Kenobi?
Oh, after. Well,
After Kenobi?
Yeah, way
Okay.
after. Yeah, Kenobi's
2023.
wrapped principle.
So
2023
Kenobi's
is-
going to open up all different paths of thinking about all of this, right? But Ahsoka being placed in a different point in this timeline, right? How much do we think the first episode of Ahsoka is going to show us in this story? Because it is probably going to follow the same pattern of being probably about 8 to 10 episodes, I would imagine. But
Yes.
how much are they going to give us in that very first episode? Like, is it going to set us on the path where we're like, okay, I can kind of see where we're going to end here? Or is it going to give us something where we're like, I have no idea where this is going?
So, to me, and it's fun because I get to talk to people who watch some Star Wars, but not a
Mhm.
lot of Star Wars. You'd be surprised how many blue collar guys that spin wrenches are like, "Oh man, I love Star Wars, but I don't watch that too much of that stuff." But how you tell me about Ahsoka? So we start talking about that stuff, and to it's fun because I get this look at the casuals and how they feel about Star Wars and where they want to see it go. They're really interested in Ahsoka, Rebels, the connection between her and one very important arc is the Mortis arc.
Yeah, bro.
Mhm.
That
They're
changed
like,
everything.
we want to see more about the Mortis arc. And I'm like, you don't understand the implications of what the Mortis arc has on the Star Wars universe. You basically have Ahsoka, who's now, you got Morai. She's, basically the daughter at this
Mhm.
point. She's Jesus. She's the space Jesus now.
Well, I mean,
Luke's gonna rise
Morai-
up to meet Ahsoka because there is always balance in the Force. So we have Ahsoka, and I want to bring up one comment really quick. I was gonna say sister, not daughter, but think about Jedi Fallen Order, the darkness that rises to meet the light. Could we see an Inquisitor? To anybody who's read the book, we know that Ahsoka already had a run-in with an Inquisitor. But I'm wondering, could what's her name? The
Barriss Offee.
No, not Barriss.
No.
Talking about the second sister.
Trilla?
Yeah, the second Trilla.
Trilla.
Yeah.
Trilla Ahsoka battle, and that's right up Disney's alley because they're like, "Ooh, two powerful girls."
I think we're getting the Barriss.
We can't do Trilla. She's dead.
No, I mean,
not at this time.
You could do a Trilla.
Is she?
You could. Well, I mean,
I mean, she dies in Fallen Order, but that's
Fallen Order's 5 years after Order 66.
this is just about the same time.
I think Trilla's a no go.
7 years, isn't it? Mando's like 7 years after. I mean, we don't know when Ahsoka's going to be set, but
X-Wing.
Well,
Isn't it more interesting though if Barriss is revealed to be an Inquisitor?
No,
No.
no,
I mean,
I don't think.
yeah,
I don't think it.
I think that's what they're gonna do though, bro.
It's too easy, bro. It's too easy.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a fucking. I mean, sorry, it's a layup. Like
That's
you know,
not
what I
even a
mean?
layup, dude. That's a
Mm.
that's like a dunk. Like that's easy. That's super easy. I think. I mean, it would be more for me.
Yeah.
It would be more fun to watch Vader like try to turn. Like she's already kind of susceptible, but she was right. Right. That's the worst part. Like she did her thing. Barriss did her thing because she felt a certain way, and she was right. Right. The Empire, the Galactics, the Republic was turning into the Empire. She saw it coming, right? And that's why she did what she did. So I feel like if anything, she's imprisoned, and she's not going to be like, "Cool, I'll come work for the Empire." Like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, I don't see that turn because she literally got imprisoned trying to prevent that, right? Trying to out everybody. And I can't really see Barriss just being like, "Yeah, cool, I'll go dark side. Give me a lightsaber. I'll go hunt Ahsoka." Like, you know, she was pissed, but she wasn't like it wasn't. I could see it being complicated just because I mean it's an easy thing for them to do, but for me it's kind of a complicated thing because I can't see a POW.
Most Jedi who are betrayed directly by the Council that bad turn to the dark side.
And there were several. I think I really would like to see maybe Vader in the suit walking through the Jedi prison and recruiting. Like that for me would be an amazing scene in this time.
If we're still, I know we're all over the place, but if I'm still talking about like the beginning of the episodes of the Ahsoka show, personally, they need to show me what happened to her after she dips. Like after she runs off and after she's saved, like we don't know what the hell she does until she pops back up again.
What do you mean?
I would-
When she's in the Malachor temple?
Yeah. When there's like this time period where like Ahsoka's exploring things that we don't know.
Oh, I don't think
what
she was
happened.
exploring things. I think she was in that temple the whole time. So the entire time
14 years, but 14 years.
for the
I had to
entire
look up the
time
timeline.
that Vader was ruling, Vader and Palpatine were around until Vader died. I think that's when she came out of the temple. I think she was allowing that temple to hide her force energy because she knew she was a person out of time.
Boring.
Honestly, it would behoove them more to show how she got her lightsabers. It would be better to show
All
the
that.
battle, the novel stuff. Show us the
How's
battle.
she able to purify things and do things we haven't seen other Force users pull off?
And that's the thing is like she didn't purify her crystal like others like I really like the fan flick that they did, the Ahsoka fan fiction that a YouTuber did. I don't remember who did it.
I saw bits of that.
The only thing that I didn't really get behind is the way that they illustrated her purifying her crystals, because that's really not how it goes with her. For me, it's more like her crystals. Her crystals were singing to her, right? I did a whole video on this. Her original crystals that Vader took off of. I think he found both of her sabers there. It only show us him grabbing one, but maybe he found the other one on the way out.
The Venator.
Yeah. And so I think he takes those back to the temple and says, okay, whoever wins this tournament gets these 2 kyber crystals that are powerful, right? And gives them to the 6th brother. And she can hear them singing to her. And the minute she touches the Inquisitor hilt, it explodes because her crystals literally felt her presence and combusted and purified in that moment. So like her ability at this point, she's so much in the light that she survived 14 years in a dark Sith temple without turning. That's an amazing feat, right? And so I feel like her telling Sabine's going to be like, where have you been? Ezra said he saw you. Where have you been? And she's going to tell that story. She's going to tell Sabine, I couldn't be here because I
Well,
would
you
mess up
know,
the
I was
timeline.
this crotchety old woman on this island, and I had to hide and
found a
remove
place
myself from the
called,
force. And
Well, because you
no
gotta
one's
think
gonna like that, dude.
me and Matt have talked about this
Mm.
a couple times. Time is tricky, and if there are principles in time that cannot be bent, even with Star Wars, and one of those is you can't be out of time as a person. So
So
she knew
Ahsoka's been on an island by herself this entire time, hiding.
it was.
I don't
okay
think
for
Dave's
Yoda?
gonna do it. I don't
Wait,
think
wait,
Dave's
wait,
gonna
wait,
do
wait,
it,
wait,
bro.
wait. It's okay for Yoda to do, right?
We've been over this.
It's okay
Oh,
for
100%.
Yoda. It's okay for Yoda to
Poor
go.
Vox Holocross is like, we've
Wait.
Yes.
It's okay for Yoda to go into exile because he failed, right? But it's not okay for Ahsoka to do the right thing and be out of time, knowing she would mess up the timeline.
I thought
Like-
we weren't doing time travel.
I don't think she will mess up. I don't think she'll mess up timelines because, man, this is wild too. Like, so say she gets pulled out of the fight, then
Mm.
she's in this timeline where she's living, right? That fight maybe didn't happen yet. Then the fight happens and he does kill her. He thinks she's dead the whole time, but she's not because she's out of place. Like,
But when I say out of time,
What?
yeah,
when I
it gets weird. They're not gonna do all this like time
when I say out of
shit.
time, you can't. If Vader felt her again, he would not stop coming for her, right?
I'm sorry, what?
If Vader felt Ahsoka's force presence the way that he did,
After her being pulled through the portal.
Yeah,
you're saying.
Gabe got it.
yeah. So like,
Yeah.
aside from that, he if he feels her presence again, he's coming for her, right? That takes all of his attention because he thinks that she could lead him to Kenobi, and Kenobi
like
is
that.
the grand prize. And Ahsoka knows that if she comes off of Malachor and leaves that Sith temple, that Vader will feel her because they're connected. Once he said Ahsoka, boom,
But
that
so here's the thing though, bro. She's not gonna do that because she wants to save Anakin. She still thinks he's in there. She's not going to hide from him. She would rather die. She would rather him kill her and her try to bring him back than to sit there and do nothing.
the reason that she didn't
I think
go
they
back-
learned that lesson already. With
the
people
reason that
sitting
she
and
didn't
doing
go back
nothing.
with Ezra is because she couldn't, right? She knew she couldn't, right? It's not my
because there's two Ahsokas, is what you're saying,
there would
is
have
that
been,
what-
yes.
right?
Yeah, because there
I
would have
don't
been
know.
I
Right,
thought
there-
there weren't two Ahsokas and we didn't have timelines.
it's not
He's
timeline.
not wrong.
It's
He's not
time.
wrong.
It's not a timeline. It's not multiverses. It's time, right?
My head
Time
hurts.
doesn't stop flowing because a pebble is removed from the river.
Wow.
Once
Once
the pebble is in the river, it is forever affected the timeline. So if Ahsoka is in the universe moping around or
Right, I didn't
going
see-
and finding things, and Vader feels her presence anywhere, he is going to stop what he's doing the same way he did and go and get her because he believes that she knows where Kenobi is and that it's a grand plot and that he has to get Kenobi because he's the grand prize, right? And
Yeah.
that's why she knows I can't go back in the universe until Vader's dead or I risk Master Kenobi, right? It's self-sacrifice. Yoda did it. Kenobi's doing it. Ahsoka does it. All the living Jedi are hiding except for Cal Kestis. He's the only one that didn't get the memo.
He missed it. Dude, he was scrapping some Federation shit.
we have a question for the council.
Mm.
If Vader walks through the prison, what does he feel about Barriss? No, Anakin. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I got
Yeah.
where she's going.
If Vader walks through the prison, what does he feel about Barriss? No, Anakin hated her for what she did to Ahsoka. Does he kill her or recruit her? I would use that hate as Vader.
Yep.
As Vader, yeah, I think he would play off of that because at this point he's not Anakin anymore. If we're
Well, no one
seeing it-
knows that that's Anakin either. So she.
But that's
she
the other
doesn't
thing.
know
That's
that
a
either.
huge mystery to everyone else except for a select few. But Barriss, if she is still alive, if she survived, definitely a prime candidate to be recruited as an Inquisitor.
Well, and there's
She's al-
no mention of the third sister anywhere. Right. So if you look at the Inquisitors that there are, it's Second,
I think she's in the Kenobi concept art. Personally.
Barris?
Barris?
Yeah. That's a female Inquisitor that we've never seen before.
Man, she lived through a lot then, because that's a long
that's a
time
lot.
for her to be
How
an
did
Inquisitor.
Luminara
For
die?
Kenobi? For the Kenobi
That was
That was
series?
her master. We see her dead body in
I mean,
Rebels.
she's an alien. I don't know.
What if
Luminar-
the original second sister is Barris, and then Barris is killed by Kenobi and replaced by Trilla?
What if she's the
He
first
becomes
sister?
the new second sister,
What if she's the first sister?
Hmm.
Right?
Hmm.
Because you have the Grand Inquisitor,
or the
That's-
first.
and that
Oh,
she's the
shit.
first sister, and then
Thank
the
you,
second
Proof.
sister and the third
Mm.
That
brother.
would have been the formation of the Inquisitors.
I
The
like this.
Inquisitorius.
That could
Oh,
be
oh,
good.
oh!
Mhm.
Here's one more fun. What if we watch Vader recruit the Grand Inquisitor, and then he goes, you should see who's down here, and they both go together to get Barris. I'm okay with that. Like I said, I don't really want to see.
We got a challenge here.
Charles Soule Vader comic. Vader was given the Inquisitors from Palpatine. They were already all a team, and they were apprentices under Palpatine, and they were gifted to Vader. Bro, this is all along the same. Like, he gave him Padme's ship. He gave him Mustafar. He gave him the Inquisitors. He gave him Momin's helmet. He was like, here, bro, everything you need, go find Padme and do your thing. Because he knew he was going to fail or whatever along those lines. Palpatine knew everything, but
Or was
yeah, so-
Palpatine just getting him out of the way so he could do more things with his own plan?
Well, his
Yeah.
clones, right?
all the
Mhm.
Inquisitors are that story is awesome.
Cloning.
And when Vader gets them, the first lesson he teaches them is true loss.
Oh, doesn't he
takes,
start cutting off limbs?
He takes a limb from every single one of them forcefully, and makes a point that loss is a key component to falling and giving yourself completely to the dark side.
Boom.
Show me
Sick.
that.
Facts.
Show me that.
100%.
Yeah,
Right? Show us that.
yeah. They stress that loss of limb.
Yeah, okay, so
his
there you
name.
go. So Barris would already have had to be turned by Palpatine before the fall. As soon as she gets put in jail, Palpatine would have to recruit her because the fall is not far after.
He might have.
And wouldn't
recruited
he?
her
Because he
before
was
that.
He was walking around there right after that too. I bet,
Yeah.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal: you're either with us or against us. You're a force sensitive. She was probably the first one on the chopping block.
Hmm.
Maybe they just take her leg off right there.
All right.
Shit.
We had one last thing to look at before we call it tonight.
That was not it.
This is gonna wind up being like a freaking hour and a half long conversation. But I've talked
Oh,
about
I'm gonna
it
get a
on
beer then.
other channels. Look, this is the thing. We knew that there were documents out about where 10, 11, and 12 were gonna go. The new trilogy. Hawks, if you haven't heard already, I know you have, but we're gonna get more sequel trilogy characters. Now, I don't want to act like I hate this immediately because A, I haven't seen it. B, I haven't seen the script treatment. C, I don't even know who the director is going to be. But
Ryan Johnson.
Would do fine with his own trilogy if nobody else fucked with it.
part of me hates myself for continuing to say that if Ryan Johnson got his own sequel trilogy, I think he could still do something. Now, I hate the man right now. The round-headed soccer ball.
Vintage
Wow.
camera carrying because he's cool.
Yeah, it is Ryan Johnson.
There's some hate spewing in the universe right now.
Look, he did a bad job. He did a bad job. To me.
he did a bad
Not
thing,
everybody else.
okay?
Hey, I always think it's funny because there's I think one of the most pure Star Wars fans in the world is Star Wars Meg. Amazing YouTuber. Obviously knows
Mhm.
more about Star Wars than I think anybody that I know on this planet. She loves The Last Jedi. Thought it was a great movie. Thought that's where Star Wars needed to go. And it's funny because that's where we butt heads because we're both prequel babies. Loves The Last Jedi. And in my brain, I'm like,
Yeah, man, I need to
What?
get Meg. I need to get Meg on my channel. I need to
Oh,
talk to
you
Meg
guys
more
are
often, bro.
great conversation. Great
'Cause
conversation.
you-
That's
about
the
Last
only
Jedi.
part of the sequels, though, bro. So don't get yourself too.
I just- so-
That's it. The
so-
Last Jedi.
I
It's
did.
okay. I'll
So,
take it. It's a victory.
look, it's a point of contention, but here's the deal. We have news that there is going to be a continuation of the Skywalker saga, but it's going to be Ben Solo for 10, 11, and 12. Thoughts
Well-
on where that could go? How you feel about it? Are you happy that it's that instead of a different trilogy? Just go.
That sounds like an oversimplification. What I heard was the ultimate goal was the resurrection of Ben Solo.
Right.
So, however,
Well, I mean,
that doesn't
did-
have to be the focus of all three movies, though. That could happen in like the first movie, and his resurrection could trigger Darkness Rising in somewhere else. So, yeah, man, Adam Driver though, like, bring him back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back though.
No, he doesn't want to do
Mm.
cons anymore.
Right, because there's
he doesn't-
nothing positive to talk about with his character, dude.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do cons anymore.
wouldn't
'Cause he's
want to
tired of
either.
getting shit on at cons. I don't think he's ever said I'm done with Star Wars. F you, Lucas. Right? Like I don't think that's
Everybody else did. He's the only one not on record.
because
saying-
he's smart.
yeah.
Look what happened to Hayden.
But who else did?
They hated Hayden. Everybody
John Boyega
hated
is the only
Who
person
Who else
I
did?
know of.
All right, hold on.
Daisy
John
did.
Boyega is the only
hold
one I
on,
know
hold on,
of.
hold on. I'll pull this
Daisy-
up for you.
Daisy shit
Pull
on him.
this up for you.
I mean,
You
Daisy
know-
just mentioned the fact that they didn't know if her dad was going to be Kenobi or whatever. I don't know.
Look, he's got him on.
Gonna start
speed.
sounding like a shill. I should be
They're-
careful,
They're
I
on,
guess.
they're on
So-
his favorites on his bookmarks.
So, in fact,
ready he
Lucasfilm is serious about reintroducing the
Felicity, he
Sequel era
is.
trio into a meaningful way. The most plausible scenario would see them star in a new animated adventure rather than live action, not least because the actors themselves seem uninterested in reprising their roles. In a 2019 Variety interview, Ridley, Boyega, and Isaac all claimed that they're now done with Star Wars following the release of The Rise of Skywalker, with Boyega going as far as to declare, "You ain't going Disney Plus me." Ridley was a little more nuanced, saying, "I think The Rise of Skywalker is a great story and a great close," she said. And even though obviously the characters continue to exist, it would have to be so extraordinary to return. And I don't know if that's possible.
I'm going to say this one time. Nobody says no to Star Wars. I'm sorry.
John Boyega.
You know what?
They're
I
not
think
going to
you're right.
Disney Plus me, and here they are, Disney Plusing him. So,
I don't
bro,
think
money
that-
talks.
Money talks, and Star Wars is the largest IP on the planet with the alongside Marvels, right? I'll put them at arm's length with one another because I don't want to insult anybody. Nobody says no to the mouse because the mouse owns everything.
Whoa.
And
Hello
You
there.
say no to a role, and Disney shows up. There are two dudes with literal AR-15s and Mickey Mouse ties, and they're like, "We're gonna need you to come back. We're gonna need you to come back."
oh, you listen here, you little son of a bitch.
refuse.
You're gonna come back and you're gonna do the role, and I'm gonna tell you what. And if you don't, these two guys are gonna take you in the back and rough you up. Okay? You're not Kylo Ren. You ain't got no lightsaber. You're gonna get in there and you're gonna do it.
And Adam would be like, "You can't make me come back."
Adam's a
And
Marine,
Disney
bro.
would be like, "Oh, well,
Mhm.
you got a
You guys
family."
think
don't you?"
that?
yeah.
You guys
ever
think
watch
that
a family
Kylo
eat
Ren
again?
is a? Do you guys think that Kylo Ren is a typecast?
No, he's done so much other stuff, dude.
Yeah, he's in a
did
ton of
that
things.
divorce
Yeah,
show
he's-
on Netflix with Scarlett, I think it was. I can't
Mhm.
remember. Amazing.
That hurts because Ladaj, I love you. I don't think he was typecast.
No, he absolutely wasn't. He's done 4
I
or
don't
5
think him
roles.
going back to the role either means that, but he has not had that much success recently, bro. Like the
No,
last
dude, his
duel,
last 2
the
years,
last
2
duel
years,
did not do shit
I mean,
because I was on my cell phone the whole time. Apparently,
I really think for me, it's really hard when Disney offers you the next $1 billion project where your face is going to be on every single billboard from here to China to say no. right? If they offer Adam Driver and Daisy an amazing amount of money and they come out with good scripts that they can get behind and there's a direction, which there will be because they learned their lessons, then there's an opportunity. But at the same time, you know, we'll just have to wait and see. They're not going to recast these roles. They're not dumb enough to do that. If they can't get the actors, we're not going to get the movies. So if you know, it's a double-edged sword here for both of them.
I gotta
Alright,
address
let's
Felicity.
chat.
I gotta
Let's
address
just
this
chat
real quick. Chapek's in charge now, right? He signed off on the new video game KOTOR remake that they are going to remake the story in. So
and put the
as
knife
far as
and kibosh on
questionable
Battlefront.
stories, like he is actually open to.
Well, and they just put the kibosh on Battlefront 3.
Yeah,
I had that article. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It makes me so angry.
It's okay with me. I didn't like the first two anyway. Wasn't a big fan.
but yeah, and I don't think what Daisy said. I don't think anything Daisy has said means I don't ever want to come back to Star Wars. So I don't know. The only person I've heard talk negative about it is John Boyega, who stated they're not going to Disney Plus me, but watch, he'll come on Disney Plus here in the next couple of years.
Well,
It's happening.
by the time these movies are released, it's going to be back in theaters, right? This isn't the Disney Plus time where they're releasing movies. They're doing that right now because a lot of people won't go to the theater and need viewership, and they're making money on the viewership on the streaming content. So when he says you're not going to Disney Plus me, he's right. They're going to put you back on the big screen. So shut up, take a paycheck, and come back and be a Jedi. Because that's probably what's going to happen. Like, you wanted to be a Jedi. Come on, bro. This is the time. You're going to give you a lightsaber. You're going to be the Force sensitive trainee. Get in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we've already seen these characters happen again, but in animated forms and Lego and stuff like that. I feel like that's where these characters are going to stay for a little while. I don't foresee a live action return of these characters anytime soon. But who knows? 5 years from now?
That's what I'm saying. It's not tomorrow. This isn't happening tomorrow. They still have a whole slate of shows to get to.
Dude,
This is a
2024, 2025.
That's what I'm saying. This
before
is
we see
for-
another trilogy.
Well, even I'd say that's when they might start shooting. I mean, they got to write script, they got to write story, they got to cast, they got to figure everything out, plus finish what they're doing now. I don't see this till at least 5 years. This is a 5-year pipe dream right now, and you know, we'll see where the cards land in a couple years. I think everybody should. I keep saying this. I just put the sequels December 28th. Put the sequels on the shelf behind you. We're just gonna dump them back here in the corner behind everything, right? And let's just leave them alone for a while. And let's focus on what's coming. Let's focus on.
Want me to just forget?
No. Like,
I'm gonna get triggered by the chat.
just put it
I
in the
stopped
back of.
reading it.
Just put it back here in this little box, and let's close this little box, and let's just leave it back behind the slave one, and we'll go from there. You know, I think everybody could use a break from the sequel talk anyway, and let's focus on what's coming. Let's focus on Boba. Let's focus on Kenobi. Let's focus on Andor. Let's focus on Ahsoka. Let's focus on the stuff they're giving us. Bad Batch 2, Mandalorian 3, all of this stuff. Let's focus on what's ahead. And I give you guys another month to complain about the sequels and all this stuff, and then let's put it on the shelf for a little. Can somebody deep fake your face on there?
I would love that.
On it.
That would be amazing.
Get Shamook on this.
I'm starting to wonder if Justin should be like an honorary member of the Boomer Council every once in a while.
He's never ready though. He's always like, we want to see his face, and he's
It's
always
like, I'm
sweaty.
too sweaty right now. I
I'm
just
too
feel
sweaty
I
from the
spent
gym,
so much
bro.
time working out. I'm so sick right now. I just have been working out.
Whoa! You can't flex like that unless you have the helmet on. We've had this conversation. That's how we know you're past
Oh,
the
like,
point
do
of
we
no
have to do it
return
again?
when your helmet's on and you're like,
Okay. All right. Hold on. Matt,
changed
before we
my-
head out, I think you had something to say real quick.
I do. I have an announcement to share with everybody. And actually, if I can bring it up on screen, it'll probably be even better. Oh, look at him go with that helmet.
Oh, he's not there yet. He's just doing it for.
I'm doing it for the gram.
It's too early in the night for that to happen. That's what happens late night at the end of streams.
Yeah, that usually.
Oh, we get to look forward to that in late night X-Wing.
the X-Wing After Dark.
That was great. But yes, I do have an announcement to share with everyone. I posted this on my Discord earlier, so anyone here that's not in my Discord, definitely check it out. I recently reached 200 subscribers on my channel, and we're actually a little past that now. And I can't thank everyone enough. And I wanted to try to do something to say thank you to everyone, especially the content creators that are in this community with me and have helped me along the way and just have really motivated me to keep going with this. And it's the biggest reason why I'm here tonight and part of this Boomer Council and on on streams with so many other people. And I really appreciate everyone that did this. So going forward on my live streams, I'm going to incorporate a section of the live stream that I'm going to call Friends of the Matt Cave. And during this time in the stream, and possibly throughout the entire stream, which is what I'm thinking about doing, is I want to promote other content creators. So it's really simple to get involved with this. Basically, subscribe to the Matt Cave, go to my Discord, direct message me about your channel, especially if you're new here. Let me know about your channel and send me a picture of your channel's logo. Then on upcoming live streams, not only will I talk about your channel, but I'm going to display your channel logo on screen throughout the stream. And this is how I want to give back to this community, and I want to promote these other channels and have it right there out in front of everybody, have the links in the description for everybody. And just, I want to see these channels grow together. I think this community is one of the best communities out there in pretty much everything. And I things like Echo Base TV have happened, and that's just absolutely amazing. And I wanted to find a way to really push that idea further. So guys, subscribe to the channel, reach out to me on Discord, send me your logos, tell me about your channel, and I want to promote you during all of my live streams. So thank you so much for bringing me to 200. Yeah, buddy. You're muted.
Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Thank you.
Now, back to
you're
the suck. Just kidding.
The Boomer's muted. He's so muted.
Damn it! I was clapping the whole time.
Yo.
I gotta stop doing that. Congratulations, man. 200
Thank
is no small feat. You're gonna be at 1,000 before you know it. Trust me, it happens quickly. Your content it's gorgeous.
Wow.
It really brings like kind of a fire back to my heart when I'm thinking about the 90s and the 80s, all this beautiful stuff, man. I really enjoy it. And I wanted to take a quick moment before we leave just to say thank you to all of you guys. Thank you, Obsession. Obviously, you've done more for this community than anybody else. This is the homie. The reason you're seeing me in HD with a Rodecaster Pro, and the reason I can do all these different things, it's all because of Obsession and the Moff Rissman. I wouldn't have a computer if I didn't have the Moff Rissman. He's not on screen with us right now, but thank you so much. Matt Cave and Hawks Holocrons, I just wanted to say to you guys, thank you so much for coming here every week, having these discussions with me, having this fun debate, and just I feel like we're trying to show the rest of the YouTube world that it's okay to think differently. And
Absolutely.
That's what I honestly feel every single time we do Boomer Council. It's okay to think differently, and this way and this way can meet together once a week and talk about stuff and be totally fine. So I feel like we're plowing the snow at the front of the train that hopefully other fans can do this kind of stuff, whether it be in Discord general chats or whatever the case may be. We all think differently. We're all people, but we all love Star Wars, right?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
And
Just get ready for what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You got me.
I didn't know you were gonna go.
I was gonna troll you, but you trolled me first. It's all good, bro.
All
We were on the same page.
right, guys. Thank you for joining this edition of the Boomer Council. As always, I'm X-Wing for the Star Wars Obsession, the Matt Cave, Hawks Holocrons. Get over and subscribe to those mad lads as soon as you can. Have a good night, and may the Force be with you always.